The ocean covers most of our planet, and for 400 million years it has belonged to them. Sharks. Older than trees, older than dinosaurs, perfectly built to hunt. Today we are diving into 20 of the most dangerous sharks alive, and by the end you will know which one truly deserves your fear. Here is your first job. Drop a comment right now with the shark that scares you the most. Let us see if you still feel the same way at the end. We begin with the legend, the Great White. Everything you think you know starts here. Up to 20 feet long and over 4,000 pounds, it hunts with a trick that feels almost unfair. It waits far below in the dark, sees your silhouette against the bright surface, and explodes upward in a single strike so powerful it launches its whole body clear out of the water. But here's the twist. The great white is not a mindless eating machine. It is curious, cautious, and shockingly intelligent. Most people it bites, it lets go, because we are simply not what it wanted. Next, the one with no standards at all, the tiger shark. If the great white is a sniper, this is the vacuum cleaner of the sea. Growing past 16 feet, it will eat almost anything. License plates, tires, bottles, and even other sharks have all been pulled from tiger shark stomachs. Young tigers wear bold, dark stripes that fade as they age, like a fingerprint disappearing over time. Slow, curious, and totally unpicky, this shark is behind more serious attacks than almost any other. It does not chase you, it just checks if you are food. Now meet the one that breaks every rule, the bull shark. Most sharks need salt water to survive. This one does not care. Bull sharks swim up rivers, into lakes, hundreds of miles inland. They have been found in the Amazon, the Mississippi, and even the Ganges. They are stocky, short-tempered, and loaded with more testosterone than almost any animal on Earth. And because they thrive in the warm, shallow, murky water right where people swim, many experts believe the bull shark, not the great white, is the one you should actually worry about. So that was the big three. Still with me? Good, because now we leave the coast and head into the open blue, where the rules change completely. Out in the endless ocean, far from any land, rules the Oceanic Whitetip. With long, rounded fins tipped in white, it is a patient opportunist that follows ships for days, waiting. During the great shipwrecks and plane crashes of the past, this was the shark that arrived first. Survivors floating in the open sea feared it more than the sinking itself. It is not fast or flashy. It simply owns a place so empty that anything alive becomes a meal. Then there is pure speed, the Shortfin Mako. This is the fastest shark in the world, capable of explosive bursts that leave everything behind, and it can launch itself 20 feet into the air. Its secret is warm blood, a rare superpower among fish that lets its muscles fire like a race engine. Torpedo-shaped and electric blue, the Mako does not ambush. It runs you down. If sharks had a sports car, this would be it. Gliding beside it is the Wanderer, the blue shark. Slender, elegant, and painted the deepest indigo, this is one of the greatest travelers in the ocean. A single blue shark can cross entire oceans, thousands of miles, riding currents in search of food. Curious by nature, it will drift right up to divers to investigate. Beautiful, calm, and endless, it reminds you that danger does not always look like a monster. Now hit pause and really look at the next one, because nature got strange. The great hammerhead. That bizarre flattened head is not a mistake. It is a weapon. Spreading its eyes wide gives it a nearly complete field of vision, and it is packed with sensors that detect the electric heartbeat of prey buried in the sand. Its favorite meal is the stingray, and it is not even bothered by the venomous barb. It pins the ray with its head like a hammer and eats it alive. Even weirder is the sand tiger. With a mouth full of jagged, snaggled teeth pointing in every direction, it looks like the most terrifying shark on this list. It is also one of the calmest. Here is the party trick. It is the only shark known to gulp air at the surface and hold it in its stomach, letting it hover perfectly still like a diver. And its babies. Inside the mother, the strongest embryo hunts and eats its own siblings before it is ever born. The competition starts in the womb. Quick question, would you get in the water with any of these so far? Keep that answer in mind because the next group is smaller, faster, and honestly a little unhinged. First, the acrobat, the Blacktip Shark. During a feeding frenzy, it does something wild. It charges up through a swirling ball of fish and spins into the air, corkscrewing several times before splashing down. It is behind a huge share of minor bites in places like Florida, not because it is a killer, but because it hunts in the exact shallow surf where swimmers play. Its twin in chaos is the spinner shark, named for the very same move. It rockets vertically through schools of fish with its mouth snapping, and the momentum throws it spinning out of the water. From a distance, you would swear the two are the same shark. Up close, the spinner is the one that turns feeding into a full circus act. Now we reach the reef, and do not let the smaller size fool you. First, the blacktip reef shark, a slim tropical local whose fins slice above the shallow water like tiny warning flags. It is shy and quick to flee, yet it patrols the lagoons with total confidence, because down here it is home. Sharing that reef is the gray reef shark, and this one has attitude. When it feels threatened, it gives a clear warning almost no other shark does. It arches its back, drops its fins, and swims in a stiff, exaggerated dance. That is not fear. That is a countdown. Ignore it, and the gray reef will strike. Cruising the Caribbean is the reef shark that made shark diving famous. The Caribbean reef shark is common, curious, and unusually calm. Unlike many sharks that must swim forever to breathe, this one can rest motionless on the sea floor, watching you with one eye, deciding if you are worth the effort. Higher up, along the deep drop-offs, patrols an aristocrat. The Silvertip Shark, marked by brilliant white edges on every fin, like it dressed for the occasion. Bold and dominant, it rules the outer reef and rarely backs down from anything, including divers who wander too close to its edge of the world. Around remote volcanic islands lives the silvertip's cousin in confidence, the Galapagos shark. Far from people, it has no reason to be shy. Divers who visit those lonely seamounts describe sharks that circle closer and closer, testing, curious, and in numbers that can turn a swim into a very tense afternoon. Ready to slow down? Meet the misfits of the coast. First, the lemon shark, a yellow-brown giant that hides in plain sight against the sandy shallows. And here is the surprise. Lemon sharks are social. They form groups, recognize each other, and even seem to prefer certain companions, which is almost unheard of in the shark world. They may look sleepy, but at night they become precise, patient hunters. Lying flat on the bottom, looking half asleep, is the nurse shark. This is the couch potato of the family. Slow, sluggish, and happy to pile up in lazy heaps during the day, it feeds by pressing its mouth to the sand and vacuuming prey out with astonishing suction. Provoke it, though, and it clamps down with a bite so stubborn it sometimes refuses to let go. Respect the calm ones. Now, three heavy hitters most people have never heard of. The bronze whaler, or copper shark, shimmers with a metallic sheen, and is a star of one of nature's greatest events, the sardine run, where these sharks hunt together, tearing through bait balls the size of buildings. Then the Dusky Shark, a massive coastal traveler and one of the slowest growing sharks alive. It can take 20 years just to mature and produces very few young. That makes it powerful in the water, but heartbreakingly fragile against fishing. This is a shark that survived the age of dinosaurs and may not survive us. And finally, the Porbeagle, a stocky bruiser of the cold north. Warm-blooded like the Mako, it thrives in freezing seas that would slow most sharks to a crawl. But the Porbeagle has a secret, softer side. Scientists have watched them roll in seaweed and chase objects for no clear reason at all, which looks a lot like play. So there they are, 20 of the most dangerous sharks in the sea, but now the twist you did not see coming. Add up every shark attack in a year, and these animals kill fewer than 10 people. In that same year, humans kill around 100 million sharks. So look back at the comment you left at the start, the shark you feared the most, and ask yourself the real question. In this story, who is actually the monster? Tell me below and subscribe, because next time we are going deeper into the crushing dark, where the things that live down there make these sharks look friendly.